This is the JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe.
No secret, people are irritated, right? Someone on social media asked, what statement makes you roll your eyes immediately? Oh, man. There's so many. Of course, leading the pack is the corporate jargon that we are all subjected to. Synergy.
Well.
Let's circle back.
Yeah. Yeah, thank God I ain't got to sit around and hear that. Of course, the ones that we had to deal with there for a couple of years in these uncertain times.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wanted to stab somebody in the face every time. And I did. Mm-hmm. I stabbed over 300
Several people.
Anybody that said I got stabbed in the face.
We got really good at hiding bodies.
Yep.
Super duper good.
Yep. Out at the farm.
We learned it from Troy. All right. Up next on the list of terms that make people roll their eyes immediately, alpha male. Sure.
Yeah, I haven't heard that much.
It's on socials.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Alpha male. That's
people,
more of the...
They'll post and they'll be like, you can't handle this much alpha male. And it's like, okay. Okay. You know what? Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I know in the political circles it's come up that men are like lacking testosterone these days.
Oh,
but,
okay.
It's a little gay for another guy to be thinking about another guy's testosterone, but however you want to roll, man.
Also a little gay to be thinking about other people's genitals, but it's all right.
Might want to take care of yourself. Leave me alone. But anyways.
I know. Tend your own garden. What happened to that?
A little weird.
I've done my own research.
Oh, I love that term, though. I'll never stop doing that because I do my own research.
Yeah, YouTube videos mostly.
Whatever I have a medical problem. Yeah.
I know. Yep, my doctor loves it when I say that.
Yes.
Listen, I've Googled it. She's always like, don't.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what she says. Because when you Google things, that's the reason people don't come to the doctor and save their own life. So stop doing that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my doctor said that. Stop Googling things and thinking you're going to die.
Here's up next, statements that make people roll their eyes immediately. We've always done it that way. Right. We have a demotivational poster here in the building. It says, just because you've always done it that way doesn't mean it's not incredibly stupid.
Right.
And it's got a picture of running of the bulls.
Right. What's the French fry one we have back there?
Not everyone can be a rocket scientist.
Somebody's got to make the fries. All right. Thank God, because I love French fries.
I'm just being honest. Jerks just justifying the things that they say.
Yeah, that is reverse calling you an idiot.
Right.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
People that bring up astrology randomly. I'm a Libra, so.
Well, I don't run into that much.
I don't either.
I think a stripper said that to me once when she was grinding on my lap. We were kind of, it was kind of awkward, and she goes,
right.
Brought up some astrology.
Yeah.
She goes, Pisces rising is a very good sign. And I'm like, I'll show you something that's rising.
Right. Yeah.
Then I had a boner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ew.
So.
Okay. Ugh.
Sorry, gymnastics parents driving into town.
Here's a classic. Do you know who I am? That's a good one.
As used by who's the last semi-famous person to use that? I know we had it in the news. You know who usually uses that? Like a local elected official when they get pulled over for a DUI.
Right.
That's who you get that most from.
Right, or you'll get it like from the relative of someone who's actually famous.
Yeah, yes, Patrick Mahomes' asshole brother.
Right.
But mostly it's like a local council person that gets pulled over and they're just drunk ass and on the side of the road going, I'll have your badge number. I'm city council.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then who was the most famous one years and years ago? The biggest fish that did that. Oh, it was a woman.
Reese Witherspoon.
No, local. She was a local politician.
Peg.
Huh?
Peg Lautenschlager or whatever.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah.
They nabbed her for swerving. And I think she pulled the Do You Know Who I Am card.
Good old Peg.
Good job, Peg. She's still in rehab.
Money can't buy happiness.
Yes, it can.
It can to a certain extent. Science has proved.
Yeah, it can. Trust me. A 110-foot yacht is happiness. Trust me.
It levels off. This is a proven thing. 80-year study, a gigantic study, ongoing study on happiness. This
Right.
is has shown that. So once you get to a certain level where like all your bills are paid and you can live comfortably, once you get past that, there's not enough. There's not a higher level of happiness that money brings you.
You don't know how much I love golf. So that's inaccurate. The data on that is inaccurate. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, you go ahead and live that, but I'm talking to other people that
Okay.
are actually listening to what I'm saying.
All right.
So yeah. You're just too sensitive.
You're just too sensitive.
There are people that are just too sensitive.
All right, that's
Fight
another.
me.
Again, that's a reverse. That's a reverse on you.
There are people that are too sensitive. I will die on that hill. Listen, this. I don't know where this idea came from that you should go through life not ever having big feelings happen to you, because you will. You're going to have bad feelings happen, and that's okay. It's part of being a person. Being uncomfortable is part of being a person. Having anger is part of being a person. It's
called the learning.
Feeling sad is part of being a person.
It's called the learning curve.
Jesus Christ. And you know what? And part of being a parent isn't protecting your kid from having emotions.
Yeah, you need to.
Like,
you need
Jesus.
to get your ass kicked every once in a while.
God damn
I'm not
it.
gonna lie, it helps. Builds character.
100%.
It does. You know why? Because it sucks and it makes you work harder. That's all I had to say about that.
God damn right. I'm shook. I hate it when people say
I'm
that.
shook. I've heard I'm triggered. I don't know the shook
That's
thing.
on the same,
I don't know.
same one.
I'm shook.
As a mother, It
It sounds like you've got the shingles. You ought to go see a doctor if you've got shook.
Yeah.
You should go see a doctor. I got a case of the shooks.
And they'll
Yeah.
be like, I'm shook. Starbucks is out of sugar cookie lattes. And be like, wow.
See, that's filed under the sensitive people.
People, relax.
What a complete waste
We are killing it online. Have you guys checked the comments?
of cyberspace.
Smoke That Skin Wagon says, you guys are killing it.
The JJO Morning Show Podcast.
We're internet sensations.
Johnny and D, nowhere but JJO.
Can you guys have chickens in your neighborhood? Oh my God.
I probably not. I mean, I don't see any. I'm sure somebody would completely lose their schnit. I think people lose their schnit in our neighborhood over where they do their landscape, how they do their landscaping.
Man, imagine.
Yeah, little one-on-one spats. Fences and too much foliage and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy.
We're pretty bored in our neighborhood.
No kidding. Find a hobby. So homeowners associations have a lot of rules, including what color your house can be, or no cars parked on the street.
Yeah, boats.
or
Some
your boat,
boats.
Yeah.
Some people go crazy.
Even like Christmas decorations, right? In one South Jersey neighborhood, a woman has been fighting her HOA to keep her emotional support chickens. They've been battling for years. Lori Smith has been ordered by a judge to remove her 5 emotional support chickens and their backyard coop by early April. The latest legal twist in her battle with her HOA in Amherst Farms in Mickleton. I was told by a board member we would be able to have chickens, she said. We needed permission from our immediate neighbors, which we obtained. No issues. So we got chickens, and about 6 weeks in, I noticed a significant and profound impact in a positive way.
Aw.
And my symptoms of PTSD, and I just thought this is the greatest thing.
Aw.
This is a miracle. It's a miracle chicken. I mean,
I'll show you a miracle chicken, lady. Which got to come back to got to go to the closet.
No, do it right here.
do it
Do it right here in front of Lynette and God.
You know what? It's Lynette I'm worried about, not God. Because that lady, you even look at Lynette, she gets pregnant. I don't even want to go there. I'm not the daddy you're looking for.
But then came an order from her HOA, and the chickens had to go. We got an email from the board saying we weren't allowed to have them. We weren't allowed to have a coop. We had to get rid of them
Well,
immediately.
you know, I don't disagree with that. I don't.
Right.
It depends on the neighborhood and the value of the homes also, I think. I think there's a lot of factors that come into play on that. How old is the neighborhood and how old are the houses? I think that has something to do with it.
Well, she was told by a board member she could have chickens. She just needed permission from her immediate neighbors.
Oh.
I already read that.
Oh, you already read that. Sorry, I was looking up chicken sound effects.
I know you were.
I was thinking about getting Lynette pregnant. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. Well, hey.
It's fine.
The good news is this is the only first time it's happened this morning that I didn't listen to you.
It's true. Okay.
All right, so what now? She got permission, and then the neighbor then rescinded?
The neighbor was fine.
Okay.
But then the HOA was like, hey, the chickens have to go.
The rest of the board, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like swear words on the radio. If they get one complaint, they have to investigate.
Right.
I wonder if it's something like that.
I wonder, too. And I wonder if that board member was kind of speaking out of place. You know what I'm saying? Like you ask one board member,
Yeah, right.
and that one board member was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. And the rest of the board was like, no, dude. So anyway.
Well, I know with you and your girlfriends, it's the same old thing. You've seen one cock, you've seen them all.
You got that right. In a letter dated June of 2022. That's not fair. They're all very unique and special in their own way.
No, they're not. They look like aliens. What are you crazy?
Trying to make everybody feel fine about their genitals.
Thank God it's Friday. I need a cocktail.
Your genitals are fine. I don't know what else to say to you people anymore. In a letter dated June of 2022, the HOA says the board first denied her request for a coop a month prior.
Okay.
It says the couple's documents failed to show why Lori needed chickens specifically for a therapeutic need instead of an animal that could be kept in her house, and why multiple chickens were needed. Well, you can't have just one. It also cited safety issues, saying the chickens would attract wild animals. We had to hire a lawyer because they got their lawyers involved. We couldn't be unrepresented. We were going back and forth and waiting for some communication, and then they served us with a lawsuit.
Dun, 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 dun. Let me get this straight.
And we've been in court ever since. It's been 3 years now.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
But she has the chickens on the premise. Okay.
Smith's attorney, Christina Bergston, sounds like a hippie.
I just grandfather the damn things in. Get on with it.
Commented during depositions, opposing counsel was asking Lori, do you kiss your chickens?
I could say something here. But you know what? I have already used it in an example, and I'm going to take a pass. Because I don't think it'll pass FCC muster. I'm going to take a pass. I am going to take a hard pass.
Do you?
Yeah, here's the problem.
Kiss your chickens?
Well, I don't have a chicken.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's the problem with emotional support animals. We've abused the right.
Right.
I mean, you see these people, they go on airplanes, they got a llama.
Right. Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Who was that crazy lady at a Wisco McDonald's?
With a kangaroo.
She had a goddamn kangaroo at the McDonald's.
Right.
And everybody was like, what? What?
Yep.
And we ruin it for the people that really need emotional support animals.
Right. 100%.
You can't take a peacock into a subway.
Right.
You can't.
Totally. And people that just want to bring their animals somewhere are like, it's my emotional support animal. And it's this extremely misbehaved asshole animal. Right. And you're just like, God, you're ruining it for people. And this is why people who have actual service animals are running into disruptions when they try to go into stores. Like, yeah, I hope you feel a little bad, you know? But they don't, because these are people that only think about themselves. Anyway.
Okay, true. It's all true.
Here we go. Opposing counsel. Do you kiss your chickens? That kind of shows that people aren't taking this seriously because it's chickens. It's cute. It's a little funny. It's a little odd. But at the end of the day, it's a very serious thing. There's plenty of data about U.S. veterans who use chicken keeping as a way of therapy for their PTSD. So it's not an uncommon thing to have chickens as part of therapy for PTSD. Okay, I agree with that. But there's also like, you need to have them in an appropriate place, right?
Well, that's why I said I'd like to see the neighborhood if it's rural. Is she? Not technically. Is she surrounded by is there a farm across the street? What's going on?
It's an HOA. So
Yeah, how would there
I don't know.
be an HOA? She can't be too far out. Because the city would have its own laws.
Right.
Not just an HOA. City would have its own law.
Honey, have you tried a cat? And I love chickens. I get it. Eventually, I will too have chickens. I've wanted chickens for a long time. But you know what? I'm waiting because it's not appropriate to have them where I'm at. That's called adulting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, dig deeper. They're medicine. If this was just a medicine I injected for a disease I had, I would fight just as hard. But it's not like that, honey. At this point, I have to fight now for other people in the state of New Jersey. Oh, no, you're making this out bigger than it is.
So shouldn't emotional support animal be inside the house? I assume these are out in a pen, correct?
Right.
Well, technically under a law or whatever ruling a support animal falls under, or the definition of it is, it should be in the house with you.
Well, she's saying that there's plenty of data that chicken keeping is a way to manage PTSD.
Okay, so
I don't know. I mean,
all right.
I don't know.
I have to get into the minutia.
The judge said on or before April 4th, we have to get rid of the chickens. Otherwise, they will have someone else choke the chickens.
How many does she have?
It doesn't say.
And are they noisy? If you ain't got a rooster, are they?
I doubt it's a rooster.
Then they're not too noisy.
It's a huge effing coop. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can probably smell the damn thing.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be able to smell it.
Yeah, I mean, most people are going to say, look, if I wanted a neighbor with livestock, I would have moved out to the country. So it's a tough one. But she should have gotten full.
I can see at least 6 chickens in this picture.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. That's a big...
it's a big coop.
That's a big coop.
That's an eyesore.
Yeah.
Listen, lady, I'm a chicken lover, and I am not on your side.
I'd rather go to Popeye's Chicken and get chicken breast support. I just get a big box of Popeye's chicken.
Do you have a friend that lives in the country that can have your chickens and you can go drive out and see them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it. That and what you call emotional support. Does science backs that up a little bit?
Well, I'm sure what it is it's a sense of accomplishment.
And maybe the purring of the chicken.
Oh, sure.
And maybe the noise keeps her tuned in.
And they do, I mean...
Something to care for, something to take care of. Does that make sense?
And some of them do like to be picked up and snuggled and this and that. Sure, 100%. But, girl, that's a big-ass coop.
That would not fly in our neighborhood. Nor would I want that. I get triggered enough when I see a stupid redneck trampoline in somebody's backyard. I don't eat chickens.
If you want a trampoline, that's for sale, by the way. Like brand new, I'm selling a trampoline. It was only used for like 3 months. It was $1,200 new. I'm selling it for $695. It's on my Facebook page.
Where'd you get a trampoline?
It's my friend's. She's trying to sell it.
Ah, okay. What do we get out of it for selling? What's our
First
cut?
of all,
You're on my show. I mean, what's my cut?
Sorry, whose show?
You're on my show.
Oh, boy.
What's the cut?
I'll a high five. I won't tell Lynette your secrets.
How about some emotional support Popeye's chicken legs?
Okay.
They come in a box with a side of coleslaw.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, they're terrific.
You got it, buddy.
I would not want that myself, and it sounds like there was some red tape and some miscommunication there. So I feel like in the end, if that's not going to work out too well for her.
Yeah. I think the big part of it, like Michelle texted in, is it's her getting out of the house and taking care of something every day.
Okay, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Which I get it. That's one of the reasons why I got a horse, was so that I had something to do all winter. A reason to get out of the house all winter.
I think what's going against her is the high price of eggs. And people are going to say she's either doing it for the eggs or trying to sell the eggs, make a little money on the side. It's hard to, I think, for the majority of people to redneckinize a chicken as an emotional support critter.
Right, especially because it's outside and the coop is out there.
Yeah. I mean, at least, yeah, I think she's going to have a hard time with that one. I'd vote against it.
Yeah, I don't.
Of course, I don't like HOAs either, so it's a wash.
Right, exactly. And I was told by a board member we would be able to have chickens that we needed permission from our immediate neighbors, which we obtained. But then the full board served her with an order. She got an order from the whole HOA. Well, I feel like you probably should have asked the whole HOA and not just a board member, right? Like got approval from the HOA. But it's crazy to think that she was able to build a whole coop and get all the chickens before anybody said anything.
She's got a borderline chicken farm going on there.
It's big. It's a big coop.
That's a little different than having a hedgehog of a support animal.
You know what I'm saying?
Or a duck.
Yeah.
You could have a duck. They could do the same thing.
Like, it's a lot happening there.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I vote no.
Hopefully she can figure it all out. And in some way still be able to participate with her chickens. Probably just not on her property.
Right.
You know?
All right.
My God.
Dumbing down your smartphone. One podcast at a time. Listen, rate, and subscribe to the JJO Morning Show podcast. Get up with Johnny and D. JJO.
Amazon driver ran over a pedestrian in Baltimore.
Oh, no.
Briefly checked on her and then went about his day. Now, do we give the driver credit for getting out and checking on her and then leaving?
Yeah. I mean, I assume it was a mutual agreement that she was going to live, and he moved on, and she moved.
Oh, no,
she laid in the street, just bleeding out. Oh, well, that's not very good.
So the guy did turn himself in eventually. Amazon delivery van struck a woman in a Butcher's Hill hit and run.
Oh, how appropriate!
Totally appropriate.
I butchered everybody.
Officers were called around 9:29 p.m. Tuesday. It was an intersection. A person was struck there.
Oh, no.
29-year-old woman. Amazon delivery van struck and dragged 29-year-old woman. The English language just sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't. Some of them.
Struck and dragged, I think, sounds worse than struck and drug.
Wait, struck. Say that again.
The van struck and dragged a 29-year-old woman crossing the street.
Struck and dragged. Well, I don't think drug. Well, is drug a word? He got drugged. That's different. He got drugged. Because drugged is a whole different meaning.
Right, but drug should be the past tense of drag.
I think technically you're correct about that. But I don't think it's a word. Is it?
It irritates
I think
me.
you say drag. No, I don't disagree.
I know.
I totally don't
Drives
disagree.
Me nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway. The woman was taken to the damn hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The van's driver, he did stop. He just stopped and got out and looked at her and then got back in and went about his day.
I'm a doctor. You'll be fine.
Jeez.
I've seen this before. You're not my first rodeo, lady. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. The driver in question has been suspended from delivering. Okay.
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Baltimore police did take into custody the man that was identified as Jerome Young, 26, turned himself in.
Well, he probably panicked a little bit.
Yeah. Facing charges of negligent and reckless driving. Terrible incident. We're fully supporting law enforcement as they continue their investigation. That's what an Amazon spokesman said. And then the update said, "Oh yeah, we fired him." I have watched. It was a girl Amazon driver, a woman Amazon driver. I say girl because she did not look over. If she was 20, it was 21 maybe, I don't know. And it was video of her driving her Amazon van. Clearly over an abandoned bridge. There was like tree growth, brush over the bridge. I don't know. And it was why I was like, she's just following her GPS. And I don't know if you've ever like checked out like the people driving the Amazon trucks or whatever. A lot of them are younger people.
Well, I'm a certified bridge tester for the state of Wisconsin. I drive over all the bad
Those
bridges.
aren't things.
And by say all the bridges, I mean all the bridges are bad.
They're all bad.
All right.
We don't have anyone inspecting them anyway. We don't care.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes I think they're so busy following the GPS and just trying to get through their damn route. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know that.
Where I think it just becomes unsafe.
I know that on those things that the route, the faster they do it, the earlier they're done working.
Right.
So I know how that works. So a lot of people, that's why they're very efficient and they want to get through their day. Because I got a buddy that drives for FedEx. But, yeah, I mean, if you say it was an accident, people will believe you. But now everybody knows you drove off, you dipstick.
Yeah.
That we know for a fact.
Right. You should have stayed.
Yeah, how hard is it to just stand there and be human?
And now you ain't got a job.
You ain't got no job.
I don't know if they would have fired him. I wonder if they would have fired him if he would have stayed. They're definitely going to fire you if you leave.
Maybe.
That's for sure.
That seems like a big red flag. I'd have to see the parameters or what happened. I mean, was she crossing the street or what?
Adam said he had to finish his route. I want my package delivered before justice is served. Corey says, see, this is what's so frustrating. Humans are hanged and dragged. Objects are hung and drug.
Yes. Let's say that again.
Humans are hanged and dragged.
Hanged and dragged.
Objects are hung and drug.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Hung and drug?
I'm taking Corey's word for it.
I don't know. I don't see drug used at all.
Yeah, you do.
I hear dragged. I don't hear drug. I think in my head I hear drug. I don't think I literally read drug in an article, is what I'm saying.
He drug his feet.
He drug his feet. No, I mean in the way you mean. Not in the way you think I mean. I mean in the way I know you mean.
Stop what you're doing right now.
I was trying to make a skit. If you had to give my skit a grade, what
0.
I don't even get a 1. I don't even get a 1. Damn.
No.
Can't get a bag of Funyuns up in here. Okay, sure, I'll give you that. I just mean in the way you want to use the word. I don't see it ever as a news item. Okay? Drug. In the meaning you want it to be.
He drugged the body.
He drugged the body. The body was dragged. He drug the body. I don't know why I'm having a hard time actually seeing that in a sentence ever being used. He drug the body. What's another word for drug? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. What's another word for drug?
Dragged.
That's what I said. God damn it. Let me tell you something.
Do this.
Let me tell you something about me in English. I barely speak it. I'm just going to tap out of that.
I can't do this.
Yeah. I need. There's probably an English teacher out there just
driving into a pole.
Has already driven herself into a wall, and I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to listen to this either.
It's terrible. I never should have brought it up, but I'm sorry.
No, it's maddening. I understand exactly. My brain hears that.
Right, I know.
But you don't say it like that in the case study you're using.
I'm glad I'm not alone, though.
Yes. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at?
Are we done with the Amazon guy?
I don't know. What happened to the Amazon guy?
He turned himself in.
Is she going to
live? The lady's fine.
Okay,
the lady's okay. Yeah.
Like, what was her injuries? Did it say?
She's in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Yeah. I guess one and done. That's not 3 strikes. You'll kill 3 people. I mean, you're done.
So I wonder what he said to her. Did he get out and he was all like, "Hey, are you breathing? Okay, I gotta get on my way."
Well, the fact that you drove away, I would almost recommend some jail time. I mean, now you've went into a whole different
Right.
gray area of a jury. I mean, the lady could have died.
Right.
Because you didn't render assistance.
Well, and you left her in the middle of the goddamn intersection.
Right.
You know?
Now there's a air of evil in the air.
Wait a minute. An air of evil in the air?
How do you say that? To err is to evil? The air that we breathe is evil? Now I'm confused.
I need more drugs.
You can learn a lot listening to podcasts.
And only 3 countries in the world don't use the metric system?
Or you can listen to this one.
I can't remember where I went Friday. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, what did I do on Friday? I gotta check my calendar.
If anybody saw me Friday, call.
The JJO Morning Show Podcast.
I literally have no idea where I was Friday.
Johnny and D, nowhere but JJO.
Okay, now, do you,
Yeah. No, I quit that.
I feel unheard.
Are you shook? Because if you are, if it would help, I'll have a drink with you. I mean, what's
Feel
back,
unseen.
what's back there? Anything? I see you. I see you.
You love saying that one.
I see you.
Okay. Do you call a lot of like tech support or like have to call on the phone to like solve any problems for any sort of like, I don't know, like maybe like credit card things or like mortgage things or like computer things or anything like that?
The last thing I called a couple of months ago was about life insurance. I just saw this commercial on television, and I called. Does that count? I don't know what the parameters.
Yeah, that
are.
counts.
And I called, and a lady picked up the phone, and it was a person. So I, score one for the good guys. I actually didn't get a robot, and I couldn't understand a goddamn thing she was saying. And
I hate that.
Hung up the phone.
I hate that.
I had no clue.
Because I try, and I'm like,
Yep, her accent was so thick, and God bless you, dude. I mean, good for you, but I'm not going to sit there and try to decipher what you're saying. That was my last adventure in telemarketing.
Carvana was the last thing I dealt with, and I have to say they were great. The only bad thing I had with them was one representative, and it was a very weird flex. And it just so happened it was it was all females I dealt with, and it was the one dude that I dealt with that was an a-hole to me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and he also had a very strong accent, and I was all like, "Man, what is your problem?" And I was very short back to him. And whatever. And it was just a weird interaction.
Did you get transferred? Was he like the finance dude or something? What was his
So what
job?
happened was,
Do you have to talk? I'm sorry. Do you have to talk to a man before you buy a vehicle?
yeah, he was all like, "I've noticed you haven't talked to any men, and we can't have all females running financing."
I'm the man who gets to sign off on this now. How bad do you want this car? Anyways, no. Go ahead.
So you have to upload a picture of your check that you're overnighting to Carvana before you send it out. Well, my loan guy overnighted the check without taking a picture of it. So I was like, "Hey, brother, can you email me that picture that you took of the check so I can upload it to Carvana?" And he's like, "Dude, whoopsie. I didn't do that." And I was like, ooh. So I needed the tracking number and all that stuff. So you have like deadlines for Carvana to meet your delivery time that you picked, right? So I missed the first deadline, even though they had the check in building already. So they had to wait for their accounting department to basically catch up.
Sure. It takes a day or two.
Right. And
by the way, I don't know of I've never heard a man actually say the word whoopsie.
right. No.
Did that really happen?
No.
Oh.
You're right. No.
Okay.
No,
so
he
the
didn't
record
say
is
that.
the record is still intact. I've never literally heard a man
I'm
say
gonna whoopsie. That's
All
a
right.
good observation.
Okay.
I never have either.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the guy called me and he's like, "You missed your deadline," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I know, I missed the deadline." And he's like, "Well, we will if we don't receive by this time, we're gonna put the car back on for sale." I'm like, "No, you're not. I already talked to somebody else.
Wow.
This is already
Cutthroat.
Yeah.
You gotta call
Totally.
cutthroat Vanna.
And I thought it was really rude.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's not what's happening because I've already talked to somebody else.
Yeah, you're that far in the
I
pipeline.
was like, oh, my God. So I just
It's like,
hung up
here's a
on
credit card. Trust me, I'm buying the car.
I was like, you have the check. You're not selling the car.
That's weird.
Dummy.
So he thought you were trying to. It was a fake check or
No,
passing checks
or
what?
that I didn't have the financing
the money.
secured,
All right.
or that I don't know what it was.
Well, I'm sure they get some of that.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I was like, you're not selling my car. This is craziness.
Right.
And then a lady called and she's like, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, fire him. No, I wasn't. I was never like that. But anyway, my wait times were always very minimal. Like, it was like I was never on hold for more than 5 minutes. This story came out and it blew my mind. HP tech support added 15-minute minimum wait times for telephone support calls to try to force people to use their online resources to solve their own problems. Yeah, so if you called HP tech support, you were automatically waiting for at least 15 minutes.
No matter what, they put you in the queue for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like jail for HP jail.
Dude, you are, yep.
Wow.
Totally.
Wow.
To try to squeeze you to go to online.
So which tells me they don't have to hire as many tech support.
Right. Yeah, because they want you to go online.
Well, it depends on how thorough their online stuff is.
Yeah.
It's just some stuff you can't fix.
Give me the PC2. Here's the hold music.
Oh yeah.
What?
It's like 1986 and it's been slowed down to 33 and a half. What? What am I listening to?
I get it. Oh, my God.
I feel like I've been drugged or something. I don't know what's happening.
It is so frustrating when you need to talk to somebody to solve a problem these days. It is so friggin' frustrating. Oh, my God.
You can't avoid it.
Because it's so hard to get a hold of anybody.
Well, I don't expect to ever get a hold of a person.
Yeah.
I mean, my standards are so low. If I get a human, I'm actually surprised.
I know. I'm like, oh, my God. Hi.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and luckily I don't deal with it much. A lot of my stuff's local. I can just go talk to somebody, but I don't know. I try to avoid confrontation issues, but I understand it. I mean, it happens. Part of life. 15 minutes automatic. That's the first I've heard of that, though.
What's the longest you would wait on hold to fix a problem?
5 minutes, I'd hang up.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah, that's about it.
I guess it depends on.
It depends on also what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I'm at home sitting around, I'll put the speaker on and I'll wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can't. I think the last time I did that might have been with my Empower out in Denver, our 401k people.
Oh yeah.
But that was it. I don't know. I mean, they've actually been. People seem to have been better about it.
Yeah. I do feel like it's gotten better recently.
That just sounds like they want to not hire as many tech support.
They don't want you on the phone.
Right.
Is what that is. Yeah. I've waited a long period of time. I'd say probably 20 minutes as long as I've waited. But I've had it where I've been on hold, and then when they answered, I forgot who I called and why I was holding, and I was like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's you get in the zone.
But I mean, HP. Are we talking about printer problems? What do we? What I mean, they do
HP tech support. So
okay,
yeah,
I mean that's stuff where you really probably need somebody,
right? Like help me.
I mean, I'm sorry, they didn't teach me computer or printers in shop class in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a weird
one. I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
I'm all you cell phone people that work at cell phone stores. First of all, you are saints. I've been in the cell phone store. Shout out to Garth, where older people come in, and I have watched you walk them through the same thing 45 times and never lose your patience. And it takes a special kind of person to do that. And I just want to say thank you for being patient with the older people with all of this stuff. But I can't imagine what it's like to try to help somebody with their damn printer over the freaking phone.
Yeah, right.
That has to be a nightmare as well. Because I've seen how short people can be, not like in stature, but like how snippy people can be.
I've seen them too, but
you know, like so people can be rude and then they're wanting you to help them, and it's got to be a battle. But
well, it's a crappy business practice. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if that dissuades people to buy HP.
well, and then like you're already kind of pissy because you're having to call tech support,
Yeah.
and then you're waiting 15 minutes. An extra 15
Well,
minutes.
it's not going to help you get great reviews.
Right.
I mean, if you're a business and you need your printer.
Right.
And you can't get anybody on the phone. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sucks. I mean, I've seen, like, I go to U.S. Cellular, and I've seen older people. And by older people, I mean Greg. But I see older people at U.S. Cellular that don't get it, even in person.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's painful.
it is painful. Not that we're not all going to get old. What's my point? I don't know. This kind of thing takes time and expertise.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just solve it on your own.
And how dare you make us wait 15 extra minutes?
You wait.
You assholes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does it make you not want to buy HP? What do we have here? We probably have Hewlett Packard.
I have no idea what we have here.
I thought they weren't doing well. I thought they fired that boss. I thought she was not doing well with them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like trying to buy a Morgan Wallen concert ticket to me.
I heard for the Morgan Wallen tickets, a little birdie told me that listens to this show, that they had their, what was that, whatever the max amount of tickets was you could buy. I think it was 6. They had their 6 in the queue in their little cart, and they went to check out, and it said, oh, check your card info. Something's wrong with your card. So double check the card info. Card info was all correct. Went to run it. And they said, oh, your tickets are gone. So then they went to reload
Yeah, I hear that.
different tickets.
I hear that a lot.
Same thing happened.
Yeah.
So it was pretty pissed off. Called the box office. And they were like, yeah, we know. There's problems with it. They ended up letting him buy over the phone through the box office or whatever. But what I don't understand is if you know there's problems with the website selling tickets to Camp Randall shows, why are we not maybe having it on a different website? Or I don't know. If there's so many problems selling the Camp Randall shows.
Well, it's almost like with those shows and how big they are, they can't keep up with demand. It's almost like their technology can't keep up with it. It seems like to be an ongoing problem.
Right.
With everybody.
Right.
You know, people get stuck. They wait online for hours. They're in the queue.
Right. HP stock is only at $34.72.
Well, there you go. There it is, because everybody's on hold, and that'll be the end of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it cropped up with Taylor Swift, Oasis. It's cropping up with Morgan Wallen. These big ass shows with obscene ticket prices.
Yeah.
It seems to be an escapable part of the process, and I don't know. I don't know if they care enough to fix it. I mean, the tickets are going to get sold.
That's what I said too.
There's like a hiccup in there somewhere.
Right, and that's what I said too. I was like, why do they care if the tickets are getting sold? They don't really care if you...
Right. They've already got 10 people ahead of you.
Right. They don't care about your story.
Yeah, it's maddening. I hear it all the time from my friends.
So, bummeroni. But
you're stuck with just a couple of people that own the arenas, that sell the tickets to the arenas, that are also owned by the same company. I mean, it's a
circle jerk, John.
God damn it, is that the perfect word? That's what it is in America today, buying a concert ticket. Uh-huh. It is a circle jerk.
The JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe. Catch a new show every Monday through Friday, 6 till 10 a.m. on 94.1 JJO or streaming anywhere in the JJO app. Johnny and D, nowhere but JJO.